Please watch Part 1 if you have not already. The link is in the description. Now, as the Grand Wizard of the Ku Klux Klan, ISHOWSPEED's life took a wild turn. He traded his YouTube fame for a robe and a hood, becoming a symbol of vengeance in the dead of night, while his public persona remained hidden and unassuming. His beef with Jaden Animations, a popular YouTuber known for her creative and heartfelt content, grew into a relentless hunt, fueled by his ego and the sting of defeat in a Mr. Beast challenge months prior. ISHOWSPEED, now going by the name Wizard. Speed within the Klan used his newfound power and resources to track Jaden's movements. He employed Klan members to monitor her social media, hack into her devices, and even stake out her home. His goal was clear: to humiliate and discredit her, proving once and for all that he was the superior content creator. The Klan, eager to please their new Grand Wizard, carried out his orders with zeal, unaware of the true motive behind his obsession. Jaden, meanwhile, remained blissfully unaware of the storm brewing around her. She continued to create her animations, interacting with her fans and living her life as normally as possible. Her content often addressed social issues and promoted positivity, making her a target in ISHOWSPEED's twisted mind. He saw her success and kindness as a personal affront, a reminder of his own fall from grace and the humiliation he felt at her hands. The Klan, under ISHOWSPEED's guidance, began a campaign of harassment and intimidation. They sent Jaden anonymous messages, leaving cryptic and threatening comments on her videos, and even vandalized her property. Jaden, confused and frightened, tried to brush it off as the work of jealous fans or trolls. She didn't want to believe that someone would go to such extremes to hurt her, and certainly didn't suspect the Grand Wizard of the Ku Klux Klan was behind it all. ISHOWSPEED, satisfied with the chaos he was causing, continued to pull the strings from the shadows. He attended Klan meetings, plotting his next moves and ensuring his members stayed loyal. His dual life was a precarious balance, but he managed to keep his YouTube past and Klan presence separate, with only a few trusted members, knowing his true identity. The Klan, oblivious to his personal vendetta, followed his lead, believing they were fighting for a greater cause. As the harassment intensified, Jaden found it harder to ignore. She started receiving and her fans began to notice the disturbing comments on her videos. The online community rallied around her, offering support and condolences, but Jaden felt a growing sense of unease. She knew something bigger was at play, but she couldn't put her finger on it. The idea that ISHOWSPEED, her former rival, could be behind all of this never crossed her mind. ISHOWSPEED, growing impatient, decided to take matters into his own hands. He organized a Klan gathering near Jaden's home, planning to kidnap her and hold her captive until she publicly admitted defeat and apologized for beating him in the challenge. The Klan members, dressed in their white robes and hoods, gathered in a nearby forest, their faces illuminated by the flickering light of burning crosses. The atmosphere was electric, charged with a mix of fear and anticipation. Jaden, unaware of the impending danger, was at home working on her latest animation. She had taken to keeping her doors locked and her curtains drawn, a small precaution that did little to ease her anxiety. As she worked, she couldn't shake the feeling that she was being watched, that something sinister was lurking just out of sight. Little did she know, her instincts were about to be proven right. The Klan, led by ISHOWSPEED, moved silently through the night, their robes billowing behind them like ghosts. They surrounded Jaden's house, their presence a malevolent force that seemed to suck the life out of the neighborhood. ISHOWSPEED, his heart pounding with a mix of excitement and nervousness, signaled for his members to fan out and secure the perimeter. This was the moment he had been waiting for, the chance to reclaim his dignity and prove his superiority. Jaden, suddenly alert to the presence of others, looked out her window and saw the eerie sight of hooded figures surrounding her home. Panic surged through her veins as she realized she was trapped. She grabbed her phone, dialing 911 with shaking hands, but the line was dead. The Klan had seen to it that her communication with the outside world was cut off, leaving her at their mercy. ISHOWSPEED, satisfied that his trap had been sprung, approached the front door. He knocked loudly, his voice booming through the wood, as he identified himself as the Grand Wizard of the Ku Klux Klan. Jaden, her voice barely a whisper, asked what he wanted. He demanded her surrender, threatening her with unknown horrors if she refused. Jaden, her mind racing, stalled for time, hoping against hope that someone would come to her rescue. Meanwhile, ISHOWSPEED's Klan members fanned out, searching for any signs of Jaden trying to escape. They checked windows, doors, and even the roof, ensuring that their prey couldn't slip through their fingers. The tension was palpable, the air thick with anticipation and the promise of violence. ISHOWSPEED, growing impatient, decided to up the ante. He ordered his members to set fire to the surrounding vegetation, creating a wall of flames that would force Jaden out of her home. Jaden, watching in horror as the flames licked at the night sky, knew she was running out of time. She quickly grabbed her laptop, stuffing it into her bag along with some essentials. She had to find a way out, and fast. The smoke was already beginning to seep into her home, choking her and stinging her eyes. She coughed and spluttered, her mind racing as she tried to formulate a plan. ISHOWSPEED, seeing the flames take hold, felt a surge of triumph. This was his moment, his chance to reclaim what he believed was rightfully his. He watched with satisfaction as Jaden emerged from her home, her eyes wide with fear and her face streaked with tears. He approached her, his voice a low growl as he demanded her submission. Jaden, her voice shaking, asked why he was doing this. ISHOWSPEED, his ego inflamed, launched into a tirade about his YouTube career, his defeat, and his quest for vengeance. Jaden, listening to his rant, began to understand the depths of his obsession. She realized that this was about more than just a challenge. It was about his twisted sense of pride and entitlement. She tried to reason with him, to make him see the harm he was causing, but ISHOWSPEED was beyond reason. His mind was clouded by hatred and a desperate need to prove himself. Superior. He ordered his members to bind her, intending to parade her through the streets as a symbol of his conquest. As the Klan members moved to obey, something unexpected happened. A loud roar echoed through the night, and a bright light pierced the darkness. A car, its headlights blinding, sped towards the group, scattering the Klan members and sending them into chaos. ISHOWSPEED, caught off guard, turned to see who had dared to interrupt his triumph. The car skidded to a halt, and out stepped a figure cloaked in shadow, their identity hidden, but their purpose clear. They had come to save Jaden, and they were, not alone. More cars arrived, their headlights cutting through the night like beacons of hope. Figures emerged, their faces determined and angry. They were Jaden's fans, her community, who had rallied together to save her from the Klan's clutches. ISHOWSPEED, realizing he had underestimated her support, felt a flicker of doubt. But it was too late to back down now. He ordered his members to stand their ground, to fight for their Grand Wizard and the cause he represented. A chaotic battle ensued, with Jaden's supporters clashing with the Klan members. Fists flew and shouts of anger and defiance filled the air. ISHOWSPEED, caught in the midst of it all, lost sight of Jaden as she was pulled to safety by her rescuers. He fought with a frenzy, his anger and frustration fueling his strength, but he was outnumbered and overwhelmed. The tide of the battle turned against him, and he found himself on the losing side. As the dust settled and the Klan members retreated, ISHOWSPEED was left alone, his robes torn and his pride shattered. He had underestimated Jaden and the power of her community, and now he paid the price. Jaden, safe and sound, watched from a distance as her supporters celebrated their victory. She knew that this was not the end. that ISHOWSPEED would not give up so easily. But for now, she was safe, and that was enough. ISHOWSPEED, nursing his wounds and his bruised ego, returned to the clan's hideout. He knew he had to regroup, to come up with a new plan. Jaden had escaped him this time, but he was far from done. His obsession with her had only grown stronger, and he was determined to see it through to the end. As he sat in the dimly lit room, his mind racing with thoughts of revenge, he heard a soft knock at the door. A KLAN member entered, their face pale and their eyes wide with fear. They delivered news that sent a chill down ISHOWSPEED's spine. Jaden had gone public with her story, exposing the clan's involvement and naming ISHOWSPEED as the grand wizard behind it all. The YouTube community was in an uproar, and the clan's secrets were spilling out into the open. ISHOWSPEED's world was crumbling, and he knew that he had to act fast if he wanted to save the reputation of both himself and the clan. Every clansman was relying on him as their leader, and the clock was ticking. Will ISHOWSPEED be able to lock in and make the comeback of the century? Find out this and more in Part 3. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and share this video with a friend. Now, stay tuned for Part 3 and see ya!